Okay.
Welcome to the Zooked Experience. I'm your co-host, Matt Celestio, joined here by Bojan Bobby Shu, our third co-host. Had a little too much fun. He is out of the scenes today, but me and Bob are going to really dive into a nice conversation today. Bobby, do you want to open the floor here? Do you want to dive in with some questions, set an intro for our guests?
Honestly, today is a very spicy night. As you can see, it's dark outside. So I want to talk about something spicy. And I feel like the spiciest topic we can talk about is dating. Dun, dun, dun. Relationships, awkward encounters. So, Matt, do you have any awkward encounters or scenarios you want to just throw out and test us here?
I think everything prior to 2020 was like awkward. Whether you were approaching or whether I was approaching, whether I was on a date or whether I was just thinking, that sounds good in my head. All of it was definitely awkward. It wasn't until recently when you get good at the game. Let me see. Do I have anything that sticks out for me?
Give me an example that something that sounds good in your head back then. That you feel like, oh, that's perfect. Oh, I'm gonna be the slayer right here. Give me that scenario.
I think it was, I would always try to come off very nonchalant. Like, oh my God, I'm so cool. Like, I'm totally detached. I look so cool. And I think I was too detached where women were like, dude, do you even care? Like, what's going on here? So sometimes I would leave them on, I wouldn't say red for a couple of days, but like red for a couple of days. I go, I'm so cool. Like, kind of cringe looking back at it. Like I did that on purpose. That definitely sticks out because I thought it was just so cool. So cool. I'm trying to think of like any specific awkward dates that I've been on.
No, but I'm curious though. So there's that balance where people say you shouldn't put too much effort in a girl. You shouldn't come off as a simp, right? How do you find that balance between not replying, not being too, proactive, and also showing that you care? Like, how do you find that balance? It's hard, no?
I think the real distinction is when you're doing it on purpose and when you're just doing it because you're having a busy life or you're doing and focusing on your own thing. So prior, like I was just saying, I would deliberately leave them on red for a day or two and I'm doing absolutely nothing. So I think, oh my God, like that there's a fine line there because now sometimes I can't get back for like hours at a time because we're doing a lot of stuff. I'm working on my goals. I'm working on my business. I'm going out with my friends. I'm doing things that are intentful and I'm not deliberately leaving them on red. So I think that's where the balance comes in. You're doing something on purpose versus when you're actually just living your life. And that's when that real detachment comes in because you're actually doing the things for yourself rather than just showing the act. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. So you're saying the girls can tell if you're acting that role or if you actually are busy as a person.
Yeah, I've actually been told by different women where they say, I can tell that you're actually very busy because the times when you do answer, it's not like, oh, a half-assed response. Okay. Hey, I was busy. I was out X, Y, and Z. Hope you're doing great. Checking in. And I give them a proper response.
Wow.
And I find that with other girls too, if they just leave me on red prior to my girlfriend, when they leave me on red for like a day and a half and then they respond back with a one-word or one-line reply, I'm not going to invest in that. However, when a girl is, busy, maybe she's got a really busy job, 4 or 5 hours during the day to respond, but she gives me a nice response, maybe sends a voice note or something with actual substance, I think it's an entirely different story. The intent you can tell, can you not?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can tell. I love that. That's a very clear breakdown of that scenario. Okay, so since you've said you come a long way since 2020, is that correct?
I would say.
Okay. Then what would be your, let's say, ideal date for a girl?
Man, only if Bobby Shu is on a date. That's an ideal date.
Oh, no. That'll be too ideal for you.
That's too ideal.
Too ideal. That can't exist. I'm talking about realistic idealism.
Okay, I will go and then I'm going to ask your specific one too.
Go for it.
My ideal date depends on the girl and where we have met. Okay. So because we have different generation right now, you can either meet online or you meet in person. I'm going to give you both scenarios, okay? An ideal date for somebody that I just matched with online, whether it was Hinge or it was an Instagram DM, whatever that is, something very simple, very low key.
We're not sponsored, by the way, so.
If you want to sponsor Perrier, FYI.
Please sponsor us. Sorry, go ahead.
No, absolutely. What was I saying? Yeah, so anything where you don't have a prior connection, a very chill, very low key, very low budget date. And that's like a coffee, a quick something at the park, very chillaxed, very chill. Maybe just like you go for dessert, nothing too elaborate. However, if you meet them at a networking event or if you meet them out with your friends at a social, whatever it is, if you already have that prior connection, a nice ideal date would be something casual at the beginning. So like a nice walk or something with nature, something fun where we're moving a little bit. then some nice food. It doesn't have to be an extravagant dinner or whatever that is. And then wrap up with like coffee or tea at the end, a little more intimate, a little quiet. So it's like a 3-tiered date. You know what I mean?
Wow. Did they move down that tier? How does it work? So let's say, do all the girls go through that 3-tier, or does it really depend? Like,
If I like them.
okay.
If I already, I see the connection, sure, let's do it. And I always say this, there's multiple exit points on the date. Most guys go into a date, we plan the whole thing. And what if you don't like the girl like 30 minutes into the date? You have an exit point. After that first one, you never tell them about all 3. You just move them up.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. You have exit points, ejection points.
Yeah. And then it's different times of the night too. So let's say you pick them up at 7, you're done by like 8:30 or whatever. She can still go out with her friends. You can still go out with your friends. Say, hey, I had a great night.
Give them the room.
Done. Yeah. And then when you like her a little bit, you can go home around 10 maybe, 10:30. It's a little late. It's still respectful. And if you're having a really good time, then you go out a little later. Then you can go home 1-ish. And that's when the date goes really well. Right?
Awesome. Interesting.
Okay, give me yours now. I want yours. I want a Bobby shoe.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, man, because I'm a person driven by data, statistics. I'm a quant man. I know I'm Asian, but still quant. So I like to have my standard baseline for dates, and I pull everyone through that funnel. Okay. It's like sales. If you guys want to look at business, sales funnel, right? Same thing. Upper funnel, exact same structure. I have a very fixed structure. Ideal date for me. If I meet a girl on, let's say, dating apps, Hinge, whatever. I'll first vet them through the process of adding them on Instagram, seeing if they actually look like the person they are. That's the phase 1. And then right after that, I'm like, okay, they match how they look on Hinge, so they're real, quote unquote. Then I'll ask for going out. And when I ask them, when I bring them out, it's always the same process. Same restaurant, same flow. Always the same.
Wow.
Never changes.
So does the server, do you ever get a server where he goes, dude, you were here last week or you were here 2 weeks prior?
I've got a few weird looks.
Have you?
But they know what's happening. So they don't really put me in an awkward spot. So how it goes is I have this I love making that date seem very smooth and flawless. So I find the restaurants that I find are very, very it's a very cozy environment, not too expensive because it's the first date. I don't want to drop $200, $300 on a girl, right? And there's always a parking spot next to the restaurant. So after you eat, straight to the car, right? No walk. You can walk for a little bit, but everything's convenient. Everything seems very effortlessly planned out. And then if I like them after dinner, right across from that restaurant would be a very nice bar that I personally like, and that shows your taste. I would take them to that bar if that dinner went well. If not, we're going on a walk, she's going back home. But if it went well, bar. Have a nice drink, talk a bit longer, and then she goes home. Mine is a 2-step process. I like keeping things simple on the first date.
Tiers still tiers.
Smart guys, we know tiers always works. You want those ejection points. You don't want to be locked in, man. You want to have those points where you can exit, escape out. And we've had some bad times we'll share later, but we love having ejection points. And then if the bar goes well, right after the bar, we have a little walk, have a little conversation, take her home. End of the first date. You don't want to stretch it too long.
Really successful first date.
Yes, if she makes it to the bar, great, because it's a bougie. I like speakeasies, so it's a bougie bar, very nice. And if she makes it there, that's a good prospect right there. Very, very good. But after that, I cut it off. Goes home. So second date. Then comes second date. But first date is always like that for me. Same restaurant, same location, same funnel. So you can compare all the girls you got with on the same level. There's no variation.
You can see where the variables start to, here's what went wrong. Okay, she's the common denominator. Okay, I like that.
Exactly, man.
One thing though that you said there, and I think a lot of guys miss, especially I did at the beginning, when you've already planned your dates as efficient as possible, those were your words, it allows you to rizz properly. Because if you don't plan where you're gonna park, do you have a reservation? You're now scrambling. You're gonna show up to the date where you're trying to make a connection and you gotta just walk right into the restaurant and sit down like it's nobody's problem. But if you don't do that, then you're fumbling. You're playing catch up, right? You can't focus.
No.
So, and then women also like that too, is you just take 20 minutes to plan. It doesn't take long to plan. And all your affairs are in order when you show up to the date, and you can literally be present at the date and actually make that connection. I think that was a huge distinction that I made from earlier in 2020 to 2024 is always know the rest of the night how it's going to play out.
Absolutely. And I feel like girls recognize that. So girls want a really effortless experience. So without you purposely doing certain things, they just follow you along, but everything works out. Let's say one of the things we talked about previously that girls absolutely love is secretly buying the bill. So you grab the bill without them knowing. We talked about this before.
That's a classy act.
But it works so well because let's say you act like mid-dinner, towards the end, you go to the toilet, right? But on the way back, Just get that bill over. Get it done. Sit down. After she's done, she goes to the toilet, comes back. Take her up. You just leave. She's like, oh, the bill. Some girls will realize, some girls won't. But after they leave, they'll be like, hey, do we pay the bill? I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I got it.
Covered.
That instantly, the points go up.
Couple
right
brownie
away.
points.
Right away, upwards. So it's not smooth.
Okay, so first date with the girl, do you let her pay?
No.
Never.
No.
Why?
I think this is more of a Chinese thing.
Okay.
Yeah, if I ask the girl out and I'm taking a female out, it's my responsibility to pay for her bill. If I can't afford that, why am I even asking her out? Like, I'm not in a good spot to take out a girl even. So if I'm taking her out, I'm paying for sure first date. Everything covered under me.
Not just the dinner, everything.
Everything.
The parking, the speakeasy after, everything.
Of course. And ideally drive her back, obviously, after the date. You want that smooth experience. Everything.
Okay, so let's say you get 3, 4, 5 dates in. Are you expected to pay for the entire thing all that time, for up to 5 dates? Or do you say, hey, let's chip in a little bit here, go 50-50? What's your thoughts?
I need to ask you about your thoughts, but from my cultural background, per se, all dates pay.
Everything.
At least mentally, I prepare for that. Some girls, like nice girls, this is also a green flag. If you see this, on like the second, third date, girls will start to ask to pay and it'll get incrementally more pushy. They'll push harder to pay. And that's a green flag. It's good. But I'll always pay at least mentally, I prepare myself to pay for all the dates. Everything.
Does it ever stop though? Like, let's say you date like a year. Do you expect to pay for everything for that whole year? All the dates, all the time?
I mentally prepare myself for that.
You do?
Yes. So I'll always be like, when I date a girl or when I go into a serious relationship, I'll always think that, oh, I'm paying for everything from now on.
Wow.
I cover everything. But that's my baseline. Mentally, I'm already there. So anything that she pays for or she offers to pay, that's bonus.
Cherry on top, gravy.
Exactly. But I do keep tabs. So if you see a girl that's a big red flag, not grateful. Never offers to pay, right?
Never.
Yeah.
Zip.
Yeah. And then very judgmental. These three, when you see, you can really tell in person. And you can only tell through time. That's a big, big red flag. So she cannot pay, but like she has to show the intention of doing that. And it really balances out that relationship, how long I date her for and if that's a good girl.
I like that. Because even if they say thank you and you can you seriously feel their gratitude,
absolutely,
I will pick it up for you.
Oh, 100%.
Because there's something masculine about going to a date, planning everything accordingly, having her sit down, and then you pick up the bill. Like it's just, there's something nice about it, man.
Yeah.
Do you find, or is it just me? No. Yeah.
Same, man. Definitely same page. How about you, man?
Yes.
5 dates, all pay?
No, yeah, honestly, yeah. But to your point, like if she offers in the second or third one, let's say she wants to get the coffee after, she wants to get the dessert after. You know what? I will do it to see. Like, sure, get it. Let me see. Will you actually tap the card? Like, I like that. It's like a nice little, okay. It goes back and forth both ways. But for the majority of things, like, yeah, parking, I'll get. Gas, I'll fill it up. Dinner, covered. But I like a little, you know what? I deserve a little something too.
Very, very interesting.
Right?
Fun fact, actually, our second co-host, which is he's a bit too happy tonight.
Third co-host.
I thought I was third.
No, we're all even. Anyways, besides the point.
Yeah, okay. He had a little bit too much fun tonight. But anyways, he brought up this very interesting scenario where on the first date, to test if a girl is a green flag or red flag, right? When the bill comes, he would purposely be silent, quiet. Just act all relaxed and just not really actively pursue that bill when it comes and see how the girl reacts. I personally don't have the guts to do that because I feel like as a guy, it's my duty, first date, guaranteed to pay. But he does that. What do you think about that? Do you feel like that's something you would do?
I think I would just do it to see what happens, just to see what kind of girl she is.
But isn't it awkward just sitting there be like, the bill's here, you're like,
yeah, I've never done it. I don't know. I would do it for a social experiment. Maybe, no, honestly, the dinner I would probably always get. Whatever the biggest expense of the night was, like I would get. Maybe like the coffee, tea, I might wean it out a bit to his point. See what happens. Like even if it's only $10. Okay. I'd try it out. I would. But you're totally like, no, I get everything done. I'm not going to leave the bill on the table. It's already paid before the server even comes.
Yes. I'm more that kind of guy. I think it's a cultural background thing. Like guys should take care of girls. Always. If you bring up the topic, if you initiate that relationship, you're responsible for everything. Everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what if the girl asks you out? Do you still pay or does she pay?
If the girl asks me out and I agree to go out, as a guy, you carry more weight in my culture, Chinese culture. So I would still pay for the date. But some girls obviously offer to pay, right? Depends. But I would always mentally prepare myself that I'm paying and taking care of everything.
Look at this guy. You're a baller.
We have some interesting spicy questions that we're bringing up, right?
Yeah, let me bring up some scenarios. I'm going to go first.
And these are real life scenarios that happen to some unfortunate human beings that are definitely not us, okay? So this is a scenario where it's like, oh, I'm asking for a friend. This is the friend we're talking about, okay?
Yeah, let's call our friend Gregory, or whatever. Okay, are you ready? So
Greg's about to get smashed. Well, go ahead.
Okay, your date shows up to the date. She looks nothing like she did on the apps, but she's still very attractive. What do you do?
This would be a scenario where I would ask. It's like finding the right Uber driver. I would be like, so are you this person from this app that I met? Just to confirm, I would confirm that first. It's like finding an Uber driver. It's like, is this Uber for Bob? Is this Uber for Matt? It's like a question, right?
Okay.
But if she's like, yes, and then it goes through that process and she is the person that was on the app that I met, but she looks nothing like the person on the app, but she's still good looking. Because since we just met, I would make it awkward. I'd go out with her, we'd grab food and stuff. I would act like it's normal. And as the night goes in, I would test to see if her personality is good, right? And if her personality seems very normal, seems okay, towards the end, I would ease into it. I'll be like, hey, I noticed that there was a discrepancy between your
corporate, bro.
Yeah, I want to be up at like your profile and your actual person. Explain. or like was this on purpose, or was it a joke, or is it something you have fun with? I'll play it around. I'll make it playful, nothing too serious. And depending on her answer, I would judge if she's a red flag, green flag. It's always about red flags, green flags. It's like playing a poker game. It's like you ask a question, you see how they respond, and then based on that response, you can give them a score and a rating. So, and that goes up and down depending on the questions you ask and their answers. So that's how I would approach it. How about you?
Hold on. But she lied about her appearance. Like, wouldn't that be the only thing in your head? Like, why would you lie?
Oh yeah. That's why. But I don't like to. So first of all, if that girl I met in person, no matter how good she is, I probably would not end up dating her.
Because of that reason.
Yes, but I would give her the benefit of the doubt to show who she is in person through that night. Because she got dressed, she came out. I gotta respect her time and her effort. So I'll give her the night, and I'll give her a chance to explain herself. But based on her explanation, I'll provide my own judgment on what kind of person she is. But that's a big red flag when I first meet her. But I won't make it awkward, because no one wants to be awkward. You want to be smooth, right? So that's how I would approach it. How about you?
I like that. I probably wouldn't say anything. I would just go through. What are you gonna say? Like, dude, you don't look like this person, but you're still good looking. What do you? I would still do the date. I wouldn't say anything after. I would just,
wouldn't bring it up.
I wouldn't take her out for a second time though, because it's weird. Like, why are you lying?
So you're more passive. You won't confront her on the spot, on the date.
No, like you said, she got dressed up. You're already there. The reservation's there. I'm starving. I want to eat. Like, let's just do it. And then again, you're there for the story. I can't wait to go tell the boys. That was always the thing too with dates. Like, even if I went on a really bad one with a girl way out of left field, I go, let's just stay the night. I'm going to call the boys after. We're going to have a good laugh. So you're always in the story. So I always like that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just write it out, see how it goes.
Wow. But you wouldn't even ask her, what if the date went really well and she was really your type? Like, everything checked the boxes. Just accept the fact that she did look like what she was on the profile. Everything else was perfect. Like, amazing personality.
Let's define what she doesn't look like on the profile means. Like, was she blonde in the profile but brunette in real life, or was she fair skinned in the profile but then she's like brown skin in real life? Like that. Like, what's the discrepancy here?
Let's put it this way. Let's make Greg very down bad. Let's just say, everything good? So let's put Greg in a very bad spot. Let's say for Greg, right, this beautiful girl we saw online that he matched with, this beautiful girl that he matched with online was Asian, and the girl in person was blonde. So ethnicity-wise, there's a big gap.
I don't know, man.
But she's still hot, absolutely smoking hot.
But why would you lie about that? Like,
You
I
see?
would have still showed up regardless of the ethnicity. I don't discriminate, right? Neither do you.
I respect them still for coming out, showing up, right?
Yeah, you lie. It's weird. It's weird. Like if you show up Asian and you were like white in the photo, that's too much discrepancy, man.
It's too extreme for impersonation.
It's too much. It's too much. Like, nothing against anybody. I would take any girl out anytime.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I have a girlfriend, but yeah, no, it's too much discrepancy. No way. No way. But okay, on this topic of she got dressed, she got ready, she came out. Greg has another great story. I want to ask what you would do in this scenario too.
Please.
Let's say you've rescheduled 4 times with this girl. Mm-hmm. You're very patient with her. You haven't taken her out on a first date. It hasn't been first date yet, okay?
Pre-first date.
She's rescheduled three times, okay? You're patient, fine. 4th time, you guys say, you know what, let's go tonight. 7:00, done. Great. The next morning, you message her with the date at nighttime saying, hey, excited to see you. Let me know if I can pick you up or where. And if you'd rather feel more comfortable at the restaurant, great. You don't hear from her all day. 0 reply. And then 15 minutes before the reservation, she says, hey, I'm on my way. Do you still go?
But prior to that, conversation-wise, was the girl very nice? Did you like her? Prior to that scenario, that date. So the previous few days you had to talk and you guys back and forth. Was that conversation very, very genuine? Did you feel like you had a connection? What was that like? I need more context from Greg.
Let's give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Then in that scenario, I would look at the respect you give each other. Because everyone has to respect the other person, right? I respected her time and her effort that she puts in for that date, right? And I feel like communication is part of respecting the other person. So based on your scenario, Greg was being very proactive, asking her, what time she's available, if that time works, back and forth. So being very proactive. So Greg's showing a lot of respect for her time. And on the day, in the morning, which is very, very proactive of Greg, he mentioned, are we still, confirming the date to make sure that she is available and to, respect her time. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I don't think she fully respected Greg's time because she didn't respond. And Greg obviously planned for the date because Greg is a snack. Absolute stud.
Chef's kiss.
Absolutely. So he planned a marvelous date, I'm assuming, okay? Mm-hmm. And that has to be done ahead of time. And the fact that she didn't respond to him for the whole day, giving him the thumbs up for that date is really disrespectful to Greg, I feel like. So my conclusion, I would not go on a date. Amen. And bring up that point of respect, stating that, hey, I respected your time, but I don't feel like you respected my time. So based on that, I feel like there's a mismatch and I feel disrespected. So no, that's me.
I agree.
Because I don't like putting myself in a spot where I'm being extremely disrespected.
You don't like putting yourself in those scenarios. Yes. And that's literally what it is. Textbook.
How about you?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go. Absolutely not. There's way too flaky of energy. Mm-hmm. No, I don't like that at all. Mm-hmm. And especially all day, like you can't have 1 second to be like, yep, hey, still good for tonight. Let me know. Because then if, like to our friend Greg's point, who had other plans that night, he's saying, well, I can't go to these other plans because I have prior commitments. No. So like, you're not only wasting time on that front, like you're taking away from something else in that person's life.
Oh, of course. That really matters to him.
That really matters to them. Mm-hmm. And it's the same reason if like prior when I was in the dating game, if it was like 3 or 4 hours before a date, don't cancel on the girl because she's probably already getting ready. Yeah. I didn't realize that because I have a lot of friends who are girls and they would tell me that where they would get canceled on. Mm-hmm. They have a date at 7, they're getting ready at 5 and the guy goes, hey, like just really not feeling it tonight. Mm-hmm. And they go, really? I just did my hair kind of thing. And now you feel bad.
That's bad.
So if you're going to make a commitment, like go on the date, do your thing, be responsive, be communicative, and make sure that it's like you get to know each other. But again, to your point, like if it's a 7 out of 10 conversation, at this point in my life, I would never even entertain it anymore. It's got to be absolutely solid for you to take my time and my energy and my money to go out and invest in you.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's an investment.
It's an investment.
At the end, it's an investment.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with that. But speaking of this kind of bad scenario, we've obviously had some bad dates, right?
Yeah.
Some terrible ones.
Yeah.
Top of my head, I can think of like 2, but there's definitely that one sore thumb that sticks out. That's the worst. Give me yours. I'm dying to know.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. So I was probably 18. 18. Okay, I'm
figuring things out.
Young
Celestial.
Yeah, man. Just long hair, still skinny as. Anyways, I shot my shot, cold DM on Instagram. She's a cute girl, said, hey, whatever, slid in the DMs. I said, look, let's go grab coffee.
Okay.
Relax, like chill.
Yeah.
I think it was like a Thursday night or Tuesday night, very, very low key. And I go, hey, I'm on my way to come get you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She goes, great, see you in a bit. As I'm on the way, I'm about halfway there. I get a text and she says, hey, I'm kind of tired. Do you feel like just hanging out at my place tonight? And 18-year-olds, I'm like, sure, let's go ahead and do that.
Home run straight away.
Absolutely. So then, anyways, I go, look, I'm still like gonna come to your place. Do you still want me to grab you coffee?
Yeah.
And she goes, no, I'm okay. I go, okay, anything for your mom or dad? Okay. Like, do they want anything?
Very respectful. I like that.
Very respectful, but also I'm checking, like, does she have parents home?
Oh,
right. Okay.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So it's a little two birds, one stone. So she goes, no, they're fine. Okay, great. Anyways, I pull up. Keep in mind, I have not met this girl before. Okay. It is the first date.
Okay.
So I'm showing up to her house. I'm looking at the address. I'm looking at the house. I'm looking at the address. I'm looking at the house. I go, there's a lot of cars in that driveway, man. I was like, is this the right freaking house?
No.
There's probably like 6 cars in the driveway.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So I go, oh my God. So I parked on the street.
Okay.
Anyways, I knock up on the door and she opens the door. She goes, hey, like, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Great to meet you. Okay. Hey. And she goes, come on in and meet everybody.
Everybody?
Wait, what do you mean, everybody? Family get together. Mom, dad, aunts, uncles, nephews, no, baby. I was holding a baby at one point. So I'm in there in this full Italian, and I'm Italian, so it's fine.
Yeah,
but I just met this girl, and all of a sudden I'm meeting the entire extended family. So you got her mom asking me, like, oh, how did you guys meet? Like, how'd you meet? I go, now, I just met her. What do you mean?
It's the first date.
First date. Oh my God. Yeah. So it was very, I don't know. I just felt embarrassing a little bit because you just show up and I go, oh my God, like, who are these people? I still took her out after though, but yeah, it's just awkward.
Like, what happened after that? Like,
I stayed for a couple hours at Espresso. They give me some panettone. It was nice.
Oh, nice. So you felt like the vibe was good. Like,
yeah, but it was just like, why are you thrown to the lions?
Did you ask her like later on? Or?
I never asked her.
Did you guys go on a second date? Or
yeah, I saw her for a couple more times actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never asked her in the next few dates why she brought you to her home the first date.
I should have. But like back to the beginning of the podcast, right? Would you ask this girl if she showed up different than what she looked in the profile? Like, no, I would. See, you would. I guess I didn't.
But I would ease into it, right? I feel like you should. If you went on 4 dates, you should ease into it, man.
You're like, hey, what's the deal? Like, why did they meet your normal?
Do you guys feel like you should ease into it? I feel like you should ease into it.
You ask the audience?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm being serious because people, obviously, right? We need some opinions here.
Yeah.
And we have some smart people watching us. Definitely. But, interesting.
Okay, give me yours now. Give me yours. Give me yours. Which one sticks out? Bad date.
Bad. I've never had that kind of crazy scenario. I feel like for me, it was mostly it's the vibe being very off. The vibe being very, very off. And I just wanted to leave. Like some people, you just don't have the chemistry. And you realize it right when you guys meet. And when I eat food, I can't eat when I'm not feeling good. Like I'm a very picky eater. And I can only eat in scenarios where I'm very relaxed and comfortable. Okay. So if I'm extremely uncomfortable, my body would starve itself.
It just wouldn't accept food.
It wouldn't accept food. Like zero appetite, nothing. No nutritional insert to me at all. Zero.
Okay.
Zero. So yeah, I was talking to this girl online, obviously. She looked pretty cute. Seemed nice, right? And then we had a date scheduled. Went out. I obviously booked the restaurant, planned everything out. It was amazing. Moment I met her, she was vastly different from what I thought she would be in person. She was very short, first of all. And secondly, her vibe was just extremely weird. In a sense where I thought she would be more westernized, but she was very, very not westernized.
Fair.
Because I respect them. She's a nice person. I'm 100% certain she's a nice person. Sweet girl, pretty face, okay? But height, vibes, off, okay? So the moment I met her, she got in my car. I picked the girl up, obviously. Got in my car. I was like, no, I want to leave.
Immediately.
And like she opened her mouth and she's like, hi. Yo, right away. I'm like,
how'd you know though? Why?
Dude, humans have senses. The atmosphere, the feeling, it just wasn't right. Got in the car, I'm like, no, I want this date to be over already.
Wow.
It was so bad. Like, and the entire drive to the restaurant, it was just, she would talk about a topic. It would be so like I would respond in the most fake laugh ever. Like, ha, ha, ha. Oh my God, that was so funny. Like, I couldn't even convince myself that was a genuine laugh. But it was bad. Okay, and then what happened was, let me cut to the chase. So what happened was, we got to the restaurant, and we ordered food. Take in, I love this spot because it's my dating funnel, right? I always go here, and I pick a good spot, good price, and food that I love. But that meal, I could not eat a single piece of food, like a single piece of meat, nothing. My mouth just would not consume that. So it got so bad to the point where I had to leave.
You left? What do you mean? You left?
No, I had to leave. Like, it was bad. Like, you know when you're in a fighter jet and you want to press eject?
It was that bad.
Fire? It was that bad. Like, my body, like my eyes were looking at her. My body was already walking away. Like,
no.
It was that bad. My head was like focused on her. My body was like trying to ease away. So what happened was I had to do this. This was bad on my end, right? I faked the accident that my friend had.
Oh, you did the emergency call, the fake emergency?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I call my friend and I'm like, oh no, really? I'm so sorry. Oh my God, how did that happen? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'll be there in a second. Hangs up. I'm so sorry.
I gotta go.
My friend's in an accident. His car stuck in the middle of the road. I had to leave. But hey, before you guys throw shade on me, before I left, paid for the bill, gave a nice tip to the waiter, right? Everything's done. Then I left. I'm like, hey, I got the bill. Don't you worry about it. But I need to attend to an extreme emergency. So you enjoy your meal, right? We'll be in touch. Obviously, we weren't.
Yeah.
But I made the scenario seem very genuine, and I dipped out of that scenario.
But you paid respectful.
I show respect.
You didn't say anything mean to her.
No. I was so nice to her. It may seem extremely fake, but I was very nice to her.
Wow.
So, dipped. Eject button.
Well, speaking of the eject button, that goes back to the Christmas tree code, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, for those people who don't know, I came across this term when I was on exchange in my 4th year of uni. My buddy that went, he was telling us one night, he goes, whenever you are in a panic on a date, you need to get out towards what Bobby just said. You need an emergency to get you out. You text your boys just Christmas tree. Quick under the table, Xmas tree, Christmas tree, whatever it is. Your boy is supposed to know, get me out immediately. Whatever I'm in, it's an emergency, get me out.
Yeah.
So if you, as a boy, you're supposed to see that and you're supposed to call and then make up whatever scenario. So great point. I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, I want to give people that word of advice. Like if you're with your guys and somebody texts you Christmas tree, give this to all your friends because that is your one ticket out, man. That happened to us with our friend Gregory. Remember we were at the club and we thought he was having a great time.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, this girl's pretty cute. Good for him. Enjoy your night.
Yeah.
He comes up after what? Like an hour and a half after not seeing him. And like, hey guys.
We thought he was having a good time.
I thought he was having a good time.
We thought they were
enjoying it.
Yeah.
So anyways, he comes back to us. First thing he says, hey, Christmas tree. And you're like, oh, damn. Okay. It's like, it's not like, it's a no joke. It's not a joke. Like, don't ever say that and be just joking. It's you say that when you want out. And we got him out, remember? We got to meet Tommy's outside, bro. We got to go.
Right away.
Done.
Right away.
Christmas tree. It's a lifesaver, man.
It works. So I feel like that's gonna be the main lesson from the Zoot podcast episode 1, right? Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
The magic word that saves many lives in these frightening, dire scenarios.
Amen. I think it's a great note to end it, folks. I don't know what time. I think it might be like 45 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it is.
It is 6.
Since we started the podcast. Anyways, folks, thank you for tuning in. This has been an absolute slice. We are going to take some notes back. We're going to get that second episode recorded, and we'll see you next time on the Zooked Experience.